These are the most relevant news or gossip about what happened during the month in the world of anime, manga Japan, or the otaku community. A new report from analytics firm Muso revealed that anime swept the list of the most pirated titles of 2024. And not by a long shot, practically all the series in the top 10 are anime, with That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Tensura, taking the top spot. But why is anime the most pirated content? There are several reasons. For starters, anime continues to gain popularity globally, and many of these series are Crunchyroll exclusives, causing some to seek out alternatives to watch them. And availability also plays a role. Solo Leveling, for example, has dubbing in 12 languages and subtitles in 18, which shows that it's not a lack of options, but that piracy is still the best option for many. A big discussion erupted this week on Weibo, considered the Twitter of China, after a post was shared claiming that Japanese anime is in decline. The post quoted a Chinese portal suggesting that, despite Japan's long history in the anime industry and its renowned directors, the country has failed to create any big hits in recent years. This controversy coincided with the global success of Chinese animated films, such as the Neza series, whose most recent installment has surpassed $1.72 billion in earnings, ranking as the world's highest-grossing animated film, highlighting the growth of Chinese animation globally. Some agreed that Japanese anime has lost quality, citing too many isekai, i.e., alternate world, anime and cheap adaptations of light novels. Others, however, argued that Japan is still going strong with hits like Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, which took the box office by storm with its first film and proved that Japanese anime is still very strong. This week, a user on Twitter released some reflections that quickly went viral about how otaku culture has changed over time. With a nostalgic and critical tone, the user commented on how the popularization of otaku culture has brought changes to anime, some of them not so positive. He began by saying, "I know I'm young, but the manga and anime from when we otaku were outcasts had much more daring things, such as erotic scenes, the grotesque and even political messages. Now everything is much more controlled." He went on to explain that, ironically, although otaku culture is now much more accepted, it has also created an environment in which otaku themselves no longer feel comfortable. It's weird, but now that otaku culture is more well known, maybe it's a harder place for otaku themselves. But then he mentioned something that got a lot of people thinking. It used to be that we otaku would get excited about our favorite characters in private, enjoying that personal connection. But now things have changed and everything has become much more public. Now you can't just love your character, you have to support your idol in public. The culture went from being individualistic to becoming much more massive. The anime Yandere Dark Elf, based on the manga by Nakano Sora, will feature 3 versions: the TV version, total censorship, the deregula version, partial censorship in video and total censorship in audio, and the complete deregula version without censorship. The story follows Tsunohara Hinata, who after defeating the Demon Lord and returning to high school, faces his new life together with Mariabelle, a dark and passionately obsessive elf, who follows him home from another world. The opening theme, Onwai, will be performed by Miyabi of the duo Hatenko Fufu. Hatsune Miku fans. McDonald's Japan has launched a special collaboration with the world's most famous virtual idol to celebrate Miku Day this March 9th. Since last month, the fast food chain broke the news that they would be doing a collaboration with Hatsune Miku, specifically with the famous Shaka Shaka fries and a new potato and nugget combo called Potato Nage. In Texas, USA, a censorship bill has just been passed that could make it a crime to own or view many well-known manga, such as Goblin Slayer or Fruits Basket. The bill, called Senate Bill 20, by Senator Pete Flores, passed through the Senate and was supported by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Now, it is about to go to the governor's office for his signature. What this bill proposes is that it would be illegal to have or promote material that appears to depict a child under the age of 18, regardless of whether it is a real person, a cartoon, or an image generated by artificial intelligence (AI). Under the law, if someone is convicted, they could face up to 5 years in jail for being caught with this material, even if it is a first offense. This has caused great concern, as many popular manga would be banned in Texas if the law is signed. One example many cite is Goblin Slayer, for its scenes of violence early in the story. But even manga like Fruits Basket, which are not as explicit, could be problematic, depending on how one interprets what is meant by S**Zul-Ax. The law seems to make it clear that only manga for children, such as Pokemon or Sailor Moon, would be off-limits. This new law is just another step in a culture war that has been escalating for a couple of years against anime in the United States. Groups like Moms for Liberty, known for trying to remove LGBT books from school libraries, are now calling for the removal of manga they consider degenerate, such as Assassination Classroom. Amazon wants to get serious about anime and expand its catalog in a big way. In an interview with Variety, Jennifer Sock, head of Amazon MGM Studios, and Kelly Day, vice president of Prime Video International, confirmed that they will be investing more in anime over the next few years. One of the most exciting aspects of our work in Japan is talking about our plans to expand this content strategy over the next few years. While Amazon is not yet at the level of giants like Crunchyroll or Netflix, it has already surpassed Disney+, HBO Max and HIDIVE in anime streaming revenue. Still, it remains behind Hulu and the industry leaders. That doesn't mean they've been sitting on their hands. They've picked up some pretty strong licenses, such as the rebuild of Evangelion tetralogy and recent anime like Yubel Blatt, Tonbo, and Look Back. Animator Kyuko Kotani recently shared how complicated it has become to make high-quality anime series due to the lack of staff and the high demands of the industry. According to Kotani, nowadays it is almost impossible to produce 2 back-to-back seasons of a TV series because the work crews are overloaded and there are not enough hands to do everything. He explained that even if you manage to get enough resources for a year, you could only make a 12-episode season because the production quality now expected for anime series is almost film level. The problem is that the animation industry now requires film quality for TV series, which makes long-term production work very difficult, Kotani commented. The animator also recalled that, about 10 years ago, it was normal for animators to work without a break, even on Sundays, to meet deadlines. But now, the lack of specialized personnel, especially animators who can do the key drawings and layouts, has made everything worse. Some studios are even turning to amateurs or inexperienced people to do simple tasks, such as preparing material for post-production. In a recent talk it made in Asia Spring 2025 in Brussels, Belgium, Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru, one of the most important Dragon Ball animators, revealed some curious details about the problems he had working on Dragon Ball Z, especially when creating Cell, one of the series' most iconic villains. Nakatsuru recalled how difficult it was to bring Cell to life, noting that the multiple spots on his body were a real headache. When we saw the beginning of Dragon Ball Superhero, Cell appears in the traditional animation part, right? As he transforms and changes from close-up to background, I just drew Cell's basic form and asked someone else to refine the more inaccurate parts or add the spots on his body, Nakatsuru recounted. He even asked Naohiro Shintani, Broly's character designer, for help, but even he got tired and said, "I don't want to do this anymore." For his part, Toriyama, the series creator, had also talked about how tedious it was to draw all those Cell spots, especially with the weekly rhythm of Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. Complicated characters are a pain when you have to draw them for weeks. Cell was a lot of work with those damn spots, Toriyama joked in an interview. So, it looks like making Cell wasn't easy at all. Those spots that characterize him so much were really a challenge for the animators and even for Toriyama. These were the most relevant news of the month. Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to check the other videos of the channel. Until next time.